Congratulations on making it to week 2. Week 1 or session 1 was very full of new activities and also setting up and moving across various new online platforms. So you were on D2L, you were on your blog platform, whether that's Blogger or WordPress, you were on Padlet posting the link to your blog, and you were on Flipgrid. So you were working across multiple online platforms. So that may seem a little bit crazy right now as you're adjusting to all of those things and your learning curve is really high, but just be patient with yourself. It will become comfortable to you and it will become a routine of sorts going from here to here to here to here as we move through the semester. So know that it will not feel that hectic or that new. And for those of you that are catching up, be patient with yourself. You will get there. Probably by the 3rd week, or for sure the 4th week, many of you will be feeling much more comfortable and adjusted and comfortable with the class. So here we are. We're on our session 2 agenda, which is just right under content. Before I go through the agenda, so in each of these session overviews, I'll go through the agenda and kind of give out some information about each of the items. But before I do that, I just wanted to share 2 announcements. And so if you go up to content, under content, I wanted to share 2 things. First of all, we have our session agendas here, and we'll go right back to that. Under here, of course, is all the readings and the video texts. And this week we have 2 readings and 2 video texts that we will be viewing. But I also wanted to point out that here, under a syllabus and assignments, there are all the assignments for the class. And so there's information right here under Inquiry Blog 1 for Inquiry Blog 1 and 2 getting set up. So there's all kinds of resources related to the Inquiry Blog that are here. Some of these, of course, are not relevant to you right now. They will be more relevant as we get later into the semester, but I wanted you to know that here there are all kinds of resources for you. I also like to link relevant resources to you on the session agendas, but know that you can also access them here as well. And then another tab I wanted to point out was this tutorial videos tab. So under this tutorial videos tab, I have created some screencast tutorials on how to set up your blog and how to set up your first post, to how to add an image, how to add a hyperlink, things that you need to have in each post, and then also how to post a comment and approve other people's comments that are on your blog. So whether you are using Blogger or WordPress, there is a tutorial here for you to view. Students last semester said they found them very helpful, so those are here for you to use, as well as other tutorial videos that will be relevant throughout the class. So those are here under content and under tutorial videos. So those are the only things I wanted to point out there. But if we go back to session agendas, here we are today on session 2, and that will be our focus for the week. And topic-wise, we're going to be focusing on adolescent literacy and culturally relevant pedagogy. And the 2 really go together. If we think of adolescence as a unique subculture in itself, in the sense that there are unique communication patterns, there are unique motivations, etc., we can think about how our curriculum can also be relevant to adolescence and how to optimize adolescent learning. So we're really thinking about adolescent literacy and adolescence as a unique subculture, but also cultures in general and how we can be relevant in thinking about how we present our curriculum. And if that's confusing to you, some of our readings this week and some of the videos by Chris Emden will be much more helpful in illustrating what that means. So here's some guiding questions to get you thinking about that. And the session will always start out with some guiding questions, but really, who are our students and how do we engage them with the content of our discipline, regardless of whether we're teaching music, math, science, art, English, social studies. How do we think of the culture, the subculture of adolescence and the cultures of our students, and how do we think of those as gateways into bringing students into our content? What is adolescence? What does that mean? How does adolescent identity impact learning? And then what are the specific literacy needs of adolescents and urban learners? And those will be questions that will be explored in our readings for this week. And so here we have our Explore activities. Definitely read those required texts. Those are all listed in the syllabus. The session overview I'm filming right now, so that will be posted soon. And then here you have actually a voice narrated lecture that goes into more detail on our readings for this week. It isn't necessarily a summary of the readings, but it is touching on the readings and then also connecting out to other related readings, talking about the ideas of adolescent literacy in this week and culturally relevant pedagogy. And you can click on that and that will take you to YouTube. Here at this link is just the slides alone without the voice narration. And then there was a big section this week talking about our disciplinary inquiry blog. This week on Friday, blog post number 1 is due. And basically for blog post number 1, you're just writing a brief introduction to your blog. You do not yet have to know what your inquiry blog topic is going to be. So you're really just setting up your blog, doing your first blog post, really just introducing yourself briefly to your professional peers. So that's what this is mainly, that's what the focus of this blog is for this week, blog post. And again, those tutorials under content can help you set up this blog post if you aren't familiar with how to set up a blog post. For those of you that are starting to already think about your inquiry blog topic and what topic you want to explore in your inquiry blog, I have here a list, like a brainstorm discussion thread that I've set up. If you would like to post a topic that you are thinking about doing for your inquiry blog, you can just start a new thread and say, I'm thinking about doing my inquiry blog on this topic. What do you think? And I will post back feedback there. Peers can post feedback as well, but that is a space for you to get additional feedback. It's optional. You don't have to post your topic there, but I've had about a fourth of the students that have enjoyed, or I should say appreciated having this additional option for additional feedback. Also listed here, so your blog post, number 1 will be due Friday, but then responses to those in your inquiry group to their blog post number 1 will be then due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. So here are some resources that can help you get started. Many of you, so here's some example topics from past students. The assignment sheet, which if you haven't looked at, please do. Here is our Padlet poster, which has everybody's blog links on it. I believe there are a couple people that aren't there yet, and I'll follow up hopefully and find them. So here's our blog links. And then there are how to post on Padlet if you need any help with that, but most of you look like you posted on Padlet quite well. Here's some examples of past inquiry blogs. And then as you go down here, we have a discuss activity due this Friday. And basically it is asking you to think about the readings. Think about the readings in the videos and think about what are adolescent literacy needs. And how do we think about those? What are the needs of the literacy students, but also too, what are the needs of teachers for supporting adolescents in their literacy learning? So read that prompt there and that'll explain what you need to do. And you'll actually be posting that right into D2L. So we will not be using Flipgrid this week. And then there is no focus and reflect activity this week. So you have a little bit of extra time to get yourself adjusted to having your blog post up and active, and then reading the blog posts of your group mates, and then responding to their blog posts by Sunday at 11:59. So no focus and reflect activity for this week. So that's what we're doing this week. Please let me know if you have any questions. Here, up here is where a great place to post those course questions. I'm still working through your questions that you posted last week about the semester, and I will be finishing those up, but going forward, I'd really like it if you'd post here, and some people have already started to post your questions here, and I will address them there. Have a very good week, and I look forward to seeing your thoughts on adolescent literacy.